you doing? Welcome to Gaming Solo. My name is Rob, your solo gamer friend, and this is a gaming solo playthrough of Fleet the Dice game. We've already completed the setup, so if you haven't had a chance to look at that, go ahead and drop down to the description below, click on the link to the setup, go ahead and follow me on the setup, and when you get a chance, come right back, play along with me. I'll roll the dice, you make your selections like I'll make my selections, doesn't matter how you make them, and of course let the Ottoman get her selections, and let's see how much better you do than I do. But other than that, let's go ahead and get on with the game. I'll explain the game as we get along. Alright, one correction, during the setup, I did get the COD, and I got the license for the COD, which gives me 1 coin every time I launch a boat. I did collect that coin during setup, so I collected it right there. So, this game is divided into 8 rounds and 4 phases per round. So, the reason why it's 8 rounds instead of 10 is because solo play only allows for 8 rounds. Why they capped at 8, I don't know, because I don't think it makes much of a difference between 8 and 10, but it is what it is. So I'm putting a hard line between 8 and 9 to remind me. There is a dotted line there, but I put the hard line to kind of stand out more towards me. So each round has 4 phases. You have the boat phase, the income phase, the fishing phase, which only happens on the even rounds, and then you have the town phase. And so the first phase is going to be the boat phase, and what you do is you take your fishing dice, your boat dice, which are the colorful ones of the sea life, and you roll that. And then once you roll it, you take it out, I rolled 2 coins and a shrimp. So each of these coins are worth 3 coins down here. But since I get to go first, I select the one I want to take. The Ottoman selects the one they take. How you decide the Ottoman's priority is, of course, where the Ottoman is sitting at right now for shrimp, the priority is shrimp. But if a shrimp die does not come up, then it takes the next die in clockwise order closest to where the shrimp is. So if it was a cod and an oyster, it would take the cod. Or if it was a lobster and an oyster, it would take the lobster, going clockwise fashion. And then I would take 1 dice, it takes a die, and then we share the final die. So I'm going to go ahead and take the lobster die and fill in 1 space on the lobster die. And I will take it as easy as I can fill this in so as not to shake the camera. I do apologize if the camera does shake. The Ottoman gets a coin, so anytime the Ottoman has to take a coin, it crosses out 1 slot where it is at. So the very bottom, and the Ottoman always works from the bottom to the top. They don't collect boats, they don't collect fish, they're just eliminating your options. So normally if I rolled a fish for the Ottoman and it was a cod, it would take 2, but I rolled a die, so the consequences for the die is it takes out 1 of the fishing instead of 2. So right now, she crossed the bottommost box of the area she's at. And then we split the final one. So I get 3 coin. So there are stars on the income track. And every time you fill in a star, or anytime you get to take a star action, means you get to take an additional action of collecting something from here. And I just filled in a star with my 3 coin. So with that 3 star, I can take any one of these actions up here. Of course, I gotta go from top to bottom. I can't just jump around. Or I can do the same here within the harbor or in the wharf. And I think what I want to do is I want to get the lobster license. So I'm going to fill that in, get a lobster license. The reason I select the lobster is the lobster gives me 1 additional income per round now. So by taking that license, instead of collecting 1 coin per turn, I collect 2 coins per turn. And then, of course, the Ottoman will strike out the bottommost box where it's at right now. So that's the second one. That's 2 boxes gone. It really kind of benefited me. Normally, I would have lost 3 boxes, but because of the coins, it only takes 1. And then, of course, I complete the boat phase. Now we do the income phase. I get to collect 2 coins per turn now. So I'm going to collect my 2 coins, which puts me across another star. And that means I'm going to do another selection. I'm going to go ahead and launch a boat for the lobster. And now I have a lobster boat out there, and by launching a boat I get another coin, and that completes income phase. Now, like I said, we skip fishing phase on the odd rounds, so now we go to town phase. So town phase is like boat phase. You roll the town dice, and I rolled a harbor, a swordfish, and a market. And so right now, how you decide if the Ottoman got to go first, which I'll cover in a second, town priorities will always start with either the harbor, then it'll go to the wharf, then it will go to the fish, then it will do the market. So just kind of remember that. So you got the harbor, the wharf, the boat die, and then the market. But I get to go first, so of course I'm going to go to the harbor because I want to start collecting. I think I want to get another boat out there to collect more fish. So, well, but if I do the king crab, I can get a bunch of extra VP points if I play it right. I think I'm going to do the king crab boat instead. So I'm going to go here. The Ottoman, of course, is going to take the fish because that's priority level. So it's going to cross off the bottom two of the swordfish. Then we both share the market. Anytime the Ottoman goes to the market, it will take out one of my stars. But I get to go first. And I get, for 0 to 4 fish in a boat, I get 2 coin. And because I get to go first, I cross off another star. So I get to take another action, which I want to do the king crab. So I want to get that license. Now the Ottoman is going to cross off the next star down the list on me. So whenever I cross over that star, I don't get to take that action. And that is the end of the town phase, and that ends round 1. Now we go to round 2. Before you start round 2, you move all of the captain's tokens 1 space to the right going clockwise. So for the harbor, it's going to go like this and back up. For the wharf, it goes like this. And of course, for the fish, it just keeps going clockwise. And now, Captain Ruth gets to go first. And Captain Ruth has a choice of a lobster, a shrimp, and coin. So of course, she is going to take the lobster because coin is lowest on her priority list. So she will cross off the bottom 2 boxes for the lobster. I can take coin or shrimp. I'm going to go ahead and take that shrimp. Work on my shrimp boat. Then we share the coin. She's going to cross off this box here that she's on. Because of the coin, she gets to cross off 1 box, and I get to collect 3 more coin. Unfortunately, she took out that star, so I don't get to take a star action. And that will end boat phase. We do income phase. Because of my fishing license, I get to collect 2 coins per turn. And luckily, that gives me another star action. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get the shrimp license. It does get the shrimp license allows me to change the die of a shrimp die to any other die I want. So that may help out. That ends income phase. Now we go to fish phase. I have 2 boats, so I get to collect 1 fish in each boat. The exception is the oyster boat. Once you get the license and then an oyster boat, you get to collect 2 fish per boat or 1 fish and 1 coin. Fish phase is now complete. Now we go to town phase. Just like boat phase, we have to roll the dice. And of course, based on the Ottoman's priorities, she prioritizes harbor, wharf, fishing, die, and then market. So she got the harbor. So she crosses out the bottom 2 boxes that the location sees it at. I can either go to the market or go to the oyster. I think I want to collect the oyster. So I'm going to collect this oyster here. And then we both share in the market. So during the market phase, she takes out the next star, which sucks because she gets to go first. And then I get to collect, I have 2 fish, so I only get to collect 2 coins still. But she's taken out 2 of my stars already in the market. And they're both back to back, so it's delaying me getting some more fishing license or items at the town. But that ends round 2. So now we go into round 3, and it's my turn to go first, but we move the captain's tokens 1 space. And I'm going to go ahead and roll. And this is a good roll here. I rolled a shrimp, a lobster, and an oyster. So I'm going to take the oyster and get an oyster license. So I'll put that there. And then, of course, the Ottoman is going to grab the lobster, strike out the bottom 2 boxes of the lobster. And then we're going to share the shrimp, which means I get a shrimp boat. I'm going to go and strike out the Ottoman's box now so I don't forget about it. But I get the shrimp boat means I launch a boat. So I'm launching my boat. And because of the COD license, I get a coin for any boat I launch. So that gives me an additional coin. And that finishes the boat phase. Now we do income phase. I get to collect 2 coins. Still no star though. So income phase is complete. Now we go to town phase. And we roll 2 markets and coins. So the Automa will take the fish die. So because of the 2 coins, the captain will strike through the bottommost box of the location she is on. So that's right there. Market, I get to go next on market. So I have, like I said, only 2 fish. I get to collect 2 more coins. But luckily that gives me a star. And I'm going to launch an oyster boat. I'm going to put these right here. I'm going to launch an oyster boat, which gives me another coin, but for launching a boat. I forgot to get my oyster license there. So I get another coin for launching the oyster boat. And now when I collect oyster, because of my oyster license, I can collect 2 fish per boat, up to 6 because I only have 1 license. So if I have 2 licenses, I can do 8. And if I have all 3 licenses, I collect all 8, or all 10, fill up the boat. But right now I can only fill up the first portion of the boat. And then of course Autumn and I will share the last one. So of course on the market, she strikes through the bottommost again. So she's pretty much closing out that lobster license on me. And I get 2 more coin, which gives me another star. And I think the way she's closing stuff out, I need to get the king crab license. So I'm going to work on that. And that is the end of the town phase. Now we go to round 4. And we move Captain Ruth's captain tokens around. And she gets to go first now. And she rolled a swordfish, a shrimp, and an oyster. So I think she is on the swordfish, so she's automatically going to strike through the bottom 2 of the swordfish. I can either collect a shrimp or an oyster. I'm not sure. I think either one works. Either one's not giving me anything. I'll go ahead and do the oyster. Since she's moved to the oyster next, she's going to cause problems there. And then we both share in the shrimp, which means she crosses off the bottommost box, 1 slash, and I get to fill in a 1. Did not collect anything that round. That takes care of the boat phase. Next is the income phase. I get 2 coins per round. Don't get to take any special actions. Now we go into fishing phase. I will collect 1 fish here for this boat, another fish into this boat, a fish into this boat, and I can either collect 2 fish in the oyster boat or a fish in the coin. We'll have 2 fish in the oyster boat. So pretty much I put a fish in the shrimp boat, the cod boat, the lobster boat, and the oyster boat. And then we go to town phase. Alright, we rolled a wharf, a cod, and a market. So of course she's going to take the wharf and she's going to cross off these 2 right here, so it stops me from getting anything at the bait shop. I can do the cod or the market. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the cod. And then of course the market, she is going to strike off the next star. Probably should have took that. I wasn't even thinking, but it is what it is. And then I get to collect my market, so it's based on fish. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 6 fish, which gives me 3 coin. Yeah, I should have did it the other way. So that's 3 coin. That was a bad call, but it is what it is. And that ends round 4. And we move the captain's tokens again. And we're halfway through with the play. If you guys enjoy what Gaming Solo is producing, by all means like and subscribe to the channel. If you see anything that I can do to improve this channel, if there's any mistakes I made during this playthrough, let me know in the comments below. If you're not comfortable putting your comments in the public domain, then by all means email me at gamingsolo1of1@gmail.com. I will keep your email private and I'll reply back as soon as I see it. And if it's any advice or anything that helps me improve the channel, I'll probably keep the email for a while to reference it until I get all the changes done. And then I will delete it out of my box. But once I'm done with the email, I'll delete it so that way it can't get into the public domain, at least not through my system. But other than that, thank you again for watching. It's truly humbling that you're spending your time with me, and I cannot give that time back to you, so I hope you're enjoying the playthrough. I hope you are playing along with me, And just to let me know, I like seeing those emails or those, if you want to put them in the comments, let me know how you did versus me, and I hope you scored way better than I did. But other than that, let's go ahead and get back to playing the second half of this game. So we're on round 5, so it is my turn to go first. And I rolled a swordfish, coin, and a lobster. I think I'm going to start collecting the swordfish because I really need to take that extra action every time I go fishing. So I'm going to take swordfish. She is a catch me, going to cross off the bottom 2 lobster. I knew that was going to happen. And then for coin, she crosses off the one she's at. And I get to go up 3 on the coin. I should have gone first, but it didn't affect change. I did get a star though. So for the star, I think I'm going to go ahead and get the oyster either license or a boat. I think I want to get another license, which gives me 2 more coin. But what the benefit is, now I can collect up to 8 fish in each of my fishing boats. I just have to collect more fish. But because I launched a boat, I get a 3rd coin, which gives me another star. And that star is going to allow me to, let me see what we got here. I can do a swordfish. Yep, I'm going to get the swordfish license, which now every time I fish, I get to take a star action. That finishes boat phase. Going to income, I get to collect 2 coins. And now we'll go into town phase. Oh, 2 markets and a 2 markets and a lobster. So she's definitely, well, no, okay, I don't want the lobster. I don't want to lose any more stars. That's the issue. And that lobster, getting that extra lobster thing is not going to help out at all. So I'm going to do the market. And I have, let me double check, I have 3, 4, 5, 7 fish. And 7 fish will give me 3 coin. So I hit a star. So by hitting the star, I'm going to launch a swordfish boat. And by launching that boat, I get another coin. That ends that. Captain Ruth is going to go ahead and strike out the last of the lobster. But she only has to strike out 1, so she goes the next one in order. So the next one in order would be just take this out here because she always strikes out 2. So where she's sitting at. And then we go to the market again. I get to get another 3 coin. Oh, I missed it by 1. Oh, if I had just missed it by 1 coin. Because we had the market, we're sharing the market action. She gets to take out the next star. And she just crushed me on taking another star out. So close to getting that star to take another action. And that will end our town phase. And now we're going into round 6. We'll move everything once. She's back top here and right there. And now Captain Ruth gets to go first. And she rolled a cod, swordfish, and oyster. So of course she's going to take the cod, cross out the bottom 2. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the swordfish. And then we'll share on the oyster. She's going to cross out 1 on the oyster, and I get 1 on the oyster. And that will end boat phase. Income phase, like I said, I get 2 coins. Now fishing phase. I have a boat here, which gives me 2 fish now. This boat, the cod boat, gives me 3, so I have the shrimp, I have the cod, I have 1 lobster boat, and I have 1 oyster boat. I'm going to collect 2 fish for the oyster boat. Oh, and I also have the swordfish boat. And because I'm fishing, I get to take a star action thanks to the swordfish license. And on that, I think I'm going to go ahead and do another license or a boat for the swordfish. I think I'm going to get a license. So I'm going to get a swordfish license. So every time I fish now, I get a star action and I get a coin. But I get 2 more coins just for getting that license. So it gives me 2 more there. And that ends the fishing phase. Yep, nothing missed. Now we do town phase. And Captain Ruth rolled a harbor, a wharf, and a fish. Of course, she's going to take the harbor. It's going to cross out the bottom two boats for the king crab, the bottom two blocks. I think I'm going to take a wharf because I want to take the seafood buffet. So I'm going to fill in the bubble next to the seafood buffet. Now, every time we do a boat action, I can either, instead of taking that fish, I can mark off that fish on here. And for each fish I mark off, there's one for all 5 fish. And once I mark that fish off, then I get a VP point. So if I have 2 fish marked off, I get 3 VP points, all the way up to 15 if I have all 5 marked off. And that's, like I said, for the boat phase. And then finally, we both take the swordfish. So Ruth will cross off one, and I will fill one in. So if I need to get a swordfish boat to get that before Ruth does. And that ends round 6. Now we move everything over one. And I get to go first this time. So shrimp, lobster, and oyster. So let us see here. The lobster does not benefit me. The shrimp will either get me a license or a boat, but the lobster will give me a boat. I think I'm going to go, the oyster. So I'm going to get the oyster. I'm going to grab the oyster, get a boat. So I'm launching a boat for the oyster. And by launching the boat, I get a coin for that. I actually get 1 coin, which gives me the star. And I'm going to take the swordfish boat for that star action. But during the last fishing phase, I forgot to collect my star plus a coin for fishing. So, because I had that license, so I'm going to get another coin, but I'm going to another star action. I'm going to take it the king crab right here. I got to remember to take those actions. I got to read through those. Of course, Automa can't cross off the lobster, can't cross off swordfish, so it will take the lobster, but it keeps going down the line until it can cross off 2 slots, which it closed out the oyster. And then finally, we both share the shrimp, so I will get a shrimp license or a boat, and the Automa will cross off the bottom block. And I think I'm going to get a boat for the shrimp. So that ends boating phase. Income phase, I get 2 coin. That ends income phase. Now I go to town phase. So for town phase, harbor, boat, and market. Of course, I'm going to go to the harbor. Now I have a license for the king crab boat. And so on that license, I can either get 2 VP per building at the end of the game, or I can get 1 VP for every 6 fish, 1 VP for license, or 1 VP for every 10 coin. I'm going to do the VP per license, which means I need to get some more license. And of course, the Automa is going to take the oyster, can't mark it off there, going clockwise, hits the shrimp, takes that out, so shrimp's out of play. And we both got the market. She gets to go first. I get to go first. So for the market, I have 2, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 13 fish, which gives me 4 coins. And those 4 coins gives me 1 more star. So I'm going to go get a cod license or a boat. I'm going to get the license, which gives me 2 more coins. But plus, every time I launch a boat, I get 2 additional coins. So I'll collect these 2 coins. And I fell shy of getting another star by 1, and the Automa, of course, is going to cross that out because we share the market. She's taken out 3, 4, 5 of my stars. So she's being pretty ruthless, which I guess is why I call her Captain Ruth. So that ends turn 7, and we're going to the final turn, turn 8, round 8. So, of course, we move everything 1 more. And let's roll. And I should have been collecting there. I'll collect this round. So Captain Ruth gets to go first. Cod, shrimp, and coin. She is going to. She can't cross off the cod. She can. She takes 1 from cod, and she'll take 1 shrimp, and then 1 cod. I'm going to fill in this cod here because at least need to get 1 point for that VP since I've been neglecting it. And then we share coins. She automatically crosses off one more underneath there because that's the only spot left she can cross. And I get 3 more coins. And that ends boat phase. Now we do income phase. I get 2 more coins for income. And I get a star for doing that. So on that star, I'm going to collect 2 VP points at Alma's Bank. Now, fishing. I get a fish for this boat. I get a fish for this boat. And a fish for this boat. So I got the shrimp boats. I filled up the cod boat now. The lobster boat just got filled up. The swordfish boat got 2 total for each of those boats. And then the oyster boat gets 2 more right here. And 2 more right here. And during the fishing phase, I get to take a star action. So the star action, I'm collecting another 2 victory points. Let me see anything else that I missed on here. And plus I get a coin because of the license. And that's it. Make sure I just make sure I didn't miss anything. Now we go to the final phase, which is town phase, and we go into scoring after this. So Captain Ruth rolled harbor, wharf, and then coins. So she's going to, of course, take the harbor action, cross off both of these right there. I'm taking the wharf action. I'm going to grab the last 2 VP points. And then the coins, she crosses off the last boat on the cod, and I get 3 more coins. So 1, 2, 3. I missed it by 1 coin to get that extra star action. And that ends the gameplay for Fleet the Dice game. Now we're going to scoring. So for scoring, I get 1 point per fish, and this is a beat your own score game. So I have 3, 4, 8, 12, 15, 21, 22, 23 fish. So that's 23 points. Boats, I have 2. So the shrimp boats are 2 points each, so that's 4 points. The cod is 1 point each, so that's 5 points for 1 cod boat. The lobster is 1 point each, so that gives me 6. I get 2 points for each swordfish, so it gives me 10. And I get 1 point for each oyster, so it gives me 12. It's 12 points for there. For license, I did not get all 3 licenses in a row, so I got 0 points for licensing. If I've gotten a license in each of these rows, it would have been various points. Buildings, I have 1 point for the seafood buffet, poorly managed that one. Then I get a total of 6 points for Alma's Bank for 7 points on the buildings. And now bonuses for the king crab. And I did the 1 point per license, so I collect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points for the license. For a total of, it's going to be a very poor score, 50 points. And 50 points barely gets me any recognition. And that gets me a deckhand, which is 1 point above greenhorn, which is the lowest you can score. So I became a deckhand by playing this. I could have definitely done better, but we'll go through the final thoughts on this game in a moment. And I'll see you guys in a moment. So Fleet the Dice game. I like the game. I was told it's a heavy roll and write, but I did not see it that way. It felt simple, easy to learn. Mechanics were really very simple mechanics. Once you understood the automa's actions and how the automa worked, the game flows smooth. I also like the fact that every die you roll counts. And if you didn't want the die, you got to trade it in for income. So either way, it was a win-win. Every single die win. There was no bad rolls on the game. But I really enjoyed the game. I thought it was well balanced. The automa took their actions. And it went back and forth, so you weren't always the first player. So it made it a little more difficult to get what you wanted. But, I made some serious mistakes in there. Such as, collecting my seafood. I totally overlooked it, forgot about it, and that could have been up to 15 points I could have earned. Would have been a whole difference in the score. Instead of being the deckhand, might have made it all the way up to captain or something like that. Who knows? But for the most part, it's a good game, easy to learn. It's one of those travel games you can take with you. I would take it on an airplane because you do have to have 2 sheets of paper out, and rolling the dice mechanics will be a little more difficult. But if you have someplace where you can just sit and hang out for a little bit and you have some time, you can play this game in 10 minutes. Knock it out, get it over with, pack it back up. It's a good lunchtime game, get a couple rounds in, or if you're on a 15-minute break at work, pull it out, knock out a game real quick and put it back away. You're only doing 8 out of the 10 rounds because you're up against the automa. The only thing you're setting up for the automa are her little tokens so you can track her actions are going to start at before you start playing the next round. So real simple, real easy mechanics. I like the game. This is definitely going to be a roll and write game I bring out and let other people play if I want to introduce them to roll and write games. Other games such as Welcome To and all that stuff I like also. Dinosaur Roll and Write I think is a little heavier than this one. Once again, thank you for joining me at Gaming Solo. It is truly humbling that you're spending your time with me. Your time is precious. I cannot give that time back to you, so I hope that what I'm producing is well worth your time. If you've seen any issues during the playthrough, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. Or if you have any ideas how I can make the channel better, also let me know in the comments below. If you're not comfortable with putting your comments on the public domain, then you can email me at gamingsolo1of1@gmail.com and I'll reply back to you. And always know that I will not make that email public, and when I'm done with that email, I will delete it and get rid of it. So that way, if it does get out there, it doesn't come from my account. But thank you for joining me. If you get the opportunity to go to Solo Board Gamers Facebook page, check those guys out, see what they got to offer, and join the group and offer up some information you have. I guarantee all you do is make the group better. Thank you again for joining me in another Gaming Solo playthrough, and have a great day.